St Edward's there beat Latimer Upper School very comfortably yesterday by 4.5 lengths in a time of 6 minutes 35. Radley beat the Episcopal Academy by a length and a half, 6 minutes 30.
Everybody please.
St Edward's and Radley. Relaxation becomes tension. Stillness waits to become energy and movement.
Attention! Go!
Away with the time-honoured growl, and fairly even and a very pleasingly clean start on either side.
Yeah, it looks to me like Radley just squeezed a little bit ahead in those first 3 strokes. Looked like the bows kind of leapt out a bit, but it's full-on, furious pace from both of them. Again, they'll know that they're in an event with incredible pedigree with the Eatons and the St Pauls and waiting down the line. And, you know, for these guys, it's all about getting through today.
Also, I love the Cox's growl at the start. We'll do the same. It's a fabulous noise. It's sort of rowing onomatopoeia. And it works, and it has certainly worked for both of these who've picked up a terrific early rhythm. And again, pleasing smoothness.
The challenge now is coming out of that powerful start. They're both through absolute everything in, and they've got to get into that rhythm that will carry them down this long middle, or still in the first quarter of it, and into the middle with something that's sustainable. It's long and powerful, that gives them that moment to breathe. And for me, Radley have got that moment to relax on the way forward in the way that I can't quite see in the St Edward's crew at the moment.
Radley's coach said yesterday, pleased to get an American school knocked out. As I say, they beat the Episcopal Academy relatively comfortable yesterday. He said 3 guys have an A-level tomorrow, so it's going to be hectic for them. We're taking everything one day at a time. Not sure what the parents think.
Can you imagine that? These guys are supreme at handling pressure, performance under pressure, whether it's in the exam room or whether it's on the water. And they're doing a brilliant demonstration, and I hope their A-level has gone just as well.
Wow, that is a big-time day, and the Radley boys are dealing with it more than ably.
The coach now, of course, by Sam Townsend, who's been such a strong member of the British team and really part of the renaissance of sculling at the absolute top level in the GB team. So great to see his talents going back into rowing. He's got so much to offer, and he knows the kind of the latest thinking about performance, you know, about the technique side of it, about the preparation side, the mental side of it. He's been such a stalwart of the team and really part of fantastic results we've seen from sculling and that we've seen continuing on at top level. So it must be so inspirational for these guys to have him bringing all that to them.
We're having a stroke seat, Radley. Maximilian Dunlap, he appears to have the greatest rowing pedigree, an under-12 world champion 5,000 metre runner. So he's an athlete all round. Amongst his highlights, winning the Junior World Championships in 2013.
For both these crews, they have a strong tradition of rowing, but it's sort of nearly 20 years since they last won it. So for St Edward's School, they last won in 1999, and it was 1998 for Radley. So they've got that history. And that'll be sort of a strong driver for them, for their schools in investing in these rowing programmes and seeing what they can do. Certainly Radley are looking a smarter crew. You can see there's some really good cohesion, some good consistency in their rhythm as well. They're just a little more ragged in the blade work in the St Edward's School.
And Radley reaching out, and if anything, stroke by stroke, apparently increasing their lead, entirely unruffled. And once more, you would use the word unison really rather than harmony. That is to say, they're all singing the same tune. There is no variation.
Yes, that synchronisation, that's the key to speed. It actually doesn't matter if you do something that isn't completely conformist rowing technique. If you all do it together, that's the challenge, getting maximum effort and getting it together. And lovely overhead shot of the blade work in the Radley crew.
In relation to the previous puddle, every time going beyond, finding clean water and maximising distance out of that water.
The fantastic camera shots actually are brilliant for the coaches because they can slow motion on all of these and get from really good angles to still see where they can get some more inches, where they can get some more boat speed. But wonderful example of that cohesion there.
And so if you were looking at it critically from a coach's point of view, Kat, where would you say Radley are superior to St Edwards?
So it is the timing of the blades and the accuracy of the blades, particularly at the front end. That's the sort of thing that stands out and often is the thing that makes quite a big difference. They are more accurate the way they enter the water, and they enter the water in a quicker way, so the blades square and drop in a fraction quicker than is happening in the St Edwards crew. And you can see the angles down the boat across the lengths are not quite as uniform either in the St Edwards crew.
And all of those things add up, and they are adding up to what looks almost certain to be progress for Radley here towards, as mentioned, further American opponents at the next stage of the competition, Montclair High School or St Albans School. St Albans indeed having won that race earlier in the day, so it'll be Radley against St Albans in the last 8. And again you can hear that swell of noise, and what sweet noise it must be for those in front. Those blades kiss the water in orthodox style and maximise the movement in every twitch of the oar.
For many of the Radley crew, it's their first experience at Henley Royal Regatta, so what an experience they're having now. They're going to be fairly dominant through to Friday unless St Edwards can find something.
Like Freddie Corner, the bowman, closer to his 19th birthday now than his 18th. His first experience at Henley Royal Regatta. Looking for Oxford Brooks, Neil Hegarty, James Innes-Kerr, Joshua Bozeman-Jones, Freddie Elwes, Max Senior, Archie McChesney, Maximilian Dunlap, and Cox Matt Dawson, exhausting them over the final few metres. It's a spirited effort, this, from St Edwards, who've not let them get away. Keep them honest to the end of the race, but the race in truth has long since been won, and that is confirmed now as Radley College cross the line and St Edwards join them, beaten and bowed.